William, are you feeling blue?
No, I'm feeling blueberries.
And your chance to feel blueberries coming up next on Garden Time.
Welcome to Garden Time, and it is indeed berry season. Later on in the show, we're going to be talking to Joelle about blueberries, raspberries, and their berry festival.
And also coming up in the show, we'll be sharing with you the tiniest dahlias you've ever seen.
But coming up first, we'll be talking to Anna about tabletop gardens.
I'm at Joy Creek Nursery today in Scappoose with Anna. And Anna, you're also a designer, a landscape designer with Optic Verve.
Yes.
And you love to do big gardens, but you also love to do these small tabletop gardens. So tell us a little bit about these creations.
Oh, they're like little gems. They're basically a planter without the pots. So they're very accessible. I mean, you don't need a lot of money. You don't need anything because you can plant right on a hard surface like this.
That's amazing.
And all you need to do, first of all, it's another fun activity to get started, is to go hiking.
Mm-hmm.
Or if you don't have time, I've actually pulled over many times. I see some rotting thing in the ditch, and I'm like, oh, I need that.
Right.
So I'll stop and I'll grab it, and then here's one of those.
That's very cool.
Yeah, and
you've really learned this from Richie Steffens from the Miller Botanical, who has classes here a lot at Joy Creek.
Yeah,
and then
usually once a year.
he also, this is also a nice resource, this book.
Yeah.
So really, you've learned so much, but then you've done your own creativity. So how do you pick plants? How do you know what kind of plants to pick?
It's the same principle as any other co-planting, I guess. You pick things that have similar light needs, water needs, all of this kind of stuff. I always like to put something that's evergreen, you know, like these things, and then you can embellish with all the stuff that will go away in the winter. But you need something that make it look good year round. And also remember that it's like a planter. It's not going to last forever. So it's totally fine if something looks bad, yank it and put something else in. So,
right.
But it's a really fun little thing. And we're all in an urban jungle pretty much, unless those of us that are happy enough to live outside of the city.
Right.
We have lots of concrete, lots of hard surfaces. And you can tell from the houseplant craze that this is kind of becoming a hunger. It's plants fill a void whether we're aware of it or not.
Right.
So this is a really good way to sort of get started. It's a miniature garden, miniature landscape,
Sure.
and you can fit it almost on your windowsill if you don't have a balcony.
That's true. And so for basics, just to tell us, you don't really use potting soil. You kind of create your own mix.
Yeah, and here I'm actually using Joy Creek Standard Mix. It has a lot of wood-based, but something that has a lot of air. If I do a lot of sun gardening, I'll also use gravel.
Okay.
So I tend to mix in a few.
So it's good for drainage
Yeah,
too.
good for drainage. But like I said, it's like a lot of times things that you put in pots, it gets too wet and it doesn't drain enough. This one you'll never have to worry about drainage.
All right.
Because it just spills right off. But you also have to water it every day.
All right. So we're going to actually build one, and then we'll come back and show you the results. So Anna, in a relatively short time, you have this little miniature garden, little miniature landscape that is just precious.
Yes, and it's so much fun to make.
And really, you can tweak it down the road because like any garden, sometimes things don't perform.
Exactly. Things die, and then it was like, wow, that got awfully big. That doesn't, that throws off my balance.
Right.
The one thing about stifling them like this, because some of them would normally get bigger, they're not going to get as big because they don't have their optimal conditions.
Right.
But they will still be fine.
Right. And I love that you have like a bag of tricks. So
Yep.
have lots of things available while you're creating because things change. You might have something in your mind, but it kind of evolves.
Yeah, and you see, oh yeah, that color's not right, and you just switch them out, or I like this better, or,
Right.
And it's a fun place, which is what makes makes it so fun to come to a place like Joy Creek
Right.
because it's primarily a mail order nursery. Everything is in small pots. They have gazillion little things that
choices,
are
definitely.
just, and you can just
Create.
create.
So Anna, it's a little bit loose right now. So how do you help that kind of get together?
Good question. So ideally, you'll want to build this one at home in the spot where it's going to go. But if you have to, for whatever reason, move it, fishing line. I got
Sure.
40-pound line right here. You just
tie it.
wrap it up, and then any normal strength person should be able to lift a little thing like this, and then you can bring it home. And of course, with time, you need to water it every day.
Okay.
Because like I said, it doesn't hold any water really beyond what the soil and the wood holds in the plants, but it will
Eventually be all together.
It will all knit it all together. The roots will do their job, and you will have this great little sculpture.
So really, this is a great project. It's such a fun thing to do for this summertime to have an addition to your garden. So really, come out to Joy Creek or give Anna a buzz on her website and you can maybe meet her out here. Thanks so much.
Thank you. Thanks for the opportunity.
We have some tips today for you to have a really great time in your garden and be healthy too. One of the things that you should have at the beginning of your day in the garden is sunscreen. It's a wonderful way to keep yourself protected from the sun, and don't forget to reapply it because we sweat a lot and it might just sweat right off of your skin. The other thing is using a hat. We have these nice wide brim hats. We got them at Al's Garden and Home. William has one that protects his face and his neck. This one also has a nice wide brim that protects my face and my neck. Also, long sleeve shirts. You'll protect your arms from getting scratched and also protection from the sun. These are also some fancy shirts that we got at Al's. They're actually SPF protected, so you get protection from the long sleeves and also the sun.
We also wanted to remind you about the different types of plants and pests in the garden. Just a few examples are poison ivy, poison oak. Even a lot of the euphorbias have a white milk that causes damage to skin, so be aware of that. There's also certain pests in the garden that can really be an annoyance, like mosquitoes and their little biting, or wasp stings. So be aware of both of those things and put out any kind of bait or trap that you need to help alleviate that stress in your garden.
And also, if you're using any kind of chemical in your garden, be it synthetic or organic, read the label. You want to know how to take care of yourself if you do get an irritation from it. And also, if you do get a cut in the garden, you are working in soil, so you want to make sure that you clean it and then also bandage it so it does not get infected.
The last two ideas are really pretty simple. All we think you should do is maybe just go take a shower. Washes off a lot of stuff, and then do a load of laundry of the clothes that you wore, because that will get rid of a lot of the things that you bring into the house as well.
Well, we hope these tips help you to have a really healthy and happy time in your garden this summer.
Since 1982, The Wall has been making local gardens beautiful, naturally. Whether you need a new wall, concrete patio, fire pit, or driveway, The Wall's expert craftsmen can build it. We back up our work with a 5-year warranty, so you'll know it'll last. We use the highest quality materials, including stamped colored concrete, natural stone, and we're the leader in using recycled concrete. Create an outdoor environment you'll enjoy for years, with the help of your friends at The Wall.
Welcome to Blooming Junction, where it's easy to connect with nature. At Blooming Junction, you'll find beautiful, healthy plants, good, fresh food, and a place to regain peace and calm in your life. We have an unsurpassed collection of unique and distinctive plants and the expertise to help any gardener be successful. And we feature Blooming Advantage plants. Come check out Blooming Junction for an inspiring experience in the garden or in the kitchen. Blooming Junction, offering quality plants for beautiful gardens.
A destination farm and garden market featuring the very best each season has to offer. Smith Berry Barn offers seasonal farm fresh fruits and vegetables and specialty herbs and perennials. Visit the historic barn for distinctive gifts, gourmet foods, and homemade milkshakes. Join us for our annual Berry Festival with fresh berries, live music, and lots of family-friendly fun. Centrally located off of Shoals Ferry Road between Sherwood and Hillsborough. Smith Berry Barn, growing good taste from the ground up.
1,112? 1,113.
William, what are you counting?
I'm counting all of our wonderful friends on Facebook.
And we invite everyone to go to Facebook and like us and follow us.
All you have to do is go to gardentime.tv and hit the Facebook icon, which is in the top right-hand corner.
It's the best place to get the most updated information on Garden Time.
So all you have to do is click us and like us. Well, I am standing here with Joelle at Smith Berry Barn, and we're out in the blueberry fields. And Joelle, we wanted to talk to y'all because we want to explain that there's really kind of a three-tiered system of when fruit is ready. Tell me what that means and why it's important.
So basically what we're talking about is every variety of fruit, whether it's a raspberry or a blueberry or a blackberry, has what we call the first flush. And the first flush is usually lighter. And so we explain.
By lighter, you mean there's like clearly these are ready to go, but that's not near the whole group.
Exactly.
Okay.
So if you were to look at the cluster, this is not a huge cluster, but some of the clusters have 3 berries ready and then 100 that aren't ready, yet. And so the first flush is a little bit lighter. We like people to definitely get out here and pick those. But then usually into the second week of each variety, you get a much heavier crop. And so picking gets easier. You can usually stand in one spot and pick into your bucket and fill the bucket pretty easily. And so what we do is we post on our website every single day what we feel is happening out in our fields as far as varieties and then their stage of ripening, whether they're limited or
not. But then that also, let's be honest, when you guys have a big rush of humanity who wants ripe berries, that they might not be ripe they're gone by noon. So you still prefer people to just call and say, hey, I'm getting in late. Do you still have it ready?
Exactly. And we'll definitely give you that information as much as we have it. So this year has been a little bit slower of a season for us. It's been a slower start to the season. So we are seeing much longer time between the ripening periods as well. So far we've had to, we've been able to open up a variety, say an early blue, like our Duke blueberries we opened for one day. They got picked very heavily, and then we have to close them for several days before they ripen back up again.
Just to let nature catch up.
Yeah, it's definitely been cooler. It's a slower start to the season, which is really good for the fruit. It's just a little bit hard to keep up.
So, don't take that as just because it's going a bit slower, you shouldn't still call. Give them a call and they'll give you that information. But now, Joelle, let's go to a different place with raspberries and take some looks at those, shall we?
Sounds good.
Okay, Joelle, now we are in raspberry areas, and the same 3 systems apply to those. Tell me about that.
So basically, if you look at this group here, you can see our first flush.
Right.
And then the main crop is going to be all of these, and then you can see some really small ones. That would be what we call the final flush or the third flush. And so usually you're picking from the tip, and then it works its way down. It also works its way down the plant as well. So later in the season, you're going to be looking up underneath, you're going to be looking down
it'll be
low.
Lower down. Okay.
Exactly.
That makes perfect sense. And I just wanted to say too that one of the things I really like about you have to pick these quickly when they're ripe because you don't do some spraying that extends their life at all.
Exactly. Yep. We're definitely no spray, and so there isn't anything on that helps prolong their life or protect them from fungus and disease. So we like them to be picked quickly and then used quickly as well.
And then you also have some new varieties that you're putting on because you always change things up.
We do. So this is our Cascade Dawn. We have another new one called Cascade Harvest, and then we have a new fall variety called Caroline.
Wonderful, wonderful. Now on July 4th though, you are actually having your berry festival thing again from 11 to 3?
11 to 3 this year. We have a couple of different live bands that will be playing. We have some wine tasting. We have some cider tasting this year. And obviously we'll be having our barbecue and our fresh berry desserts that are always the favorite.
Yeah, they are indeed. So, always we send you to gardentime.tv for more information, but I can also tell you when Judy and I have been to these wonderful events, they have always been a great, big, fun time. So thank you so much, Joelle, and come celebrate berries at Smith Berry Barn.
Thank you.
Judy and I are out here at Zenger Farm, which is an urban educational farm, and we're going to be talking about pinching back basil?
You know, this time of year your basil is doing really great, but you want to pinch it to prevent it from going to flower and to increase production. So just go in and you just pinch out the leaves at the top of each stem, and it'll flush out new growth for the rest of the season and prevent it from flowering.
Pinching back basil for better production. That's our tip of the week.
Garden Time is brought to you by Capital Subaru, your way on the Parkway.
What's even better than buying a brand new Subaru? How about getting the best possible value from a place that's as trustworthy and dependable as a Subaru? At Capital Subaru, your satisfaction is our goal, which is why you can always expect the kind of service and selection that keeps you smiling. From our lot to your driveway.
Dream bigger this summer. Now at Capital, lease the smart and versatile new 2019 Subaru Ascent Premium with seating for 8, just $349 per month.
Capital Subaru, your way on the Parkway.
Now's the time. Standard TV and appliance 4th of July savings going on now.
Huge price cuts on top brand appliances and Simmons Beauty Rest mattresses. Get an LG front load washer with steam, only $634, or a Samsung stainless steel French door refrigerator, only $10.99. Save big on a stainless steel Whirlpool dishwasher, only $449. Plus get a Simmons Beauty Rest queen mattress for just $399.
Hurry, 4th of July savings won't last long. Standard TV and appliance.
At Garland Nursery, you'll find
top quality plants,
4 generations of garden know-how,
fun and fantastic garden decor,
and the best in garden supplies.
Come visit us at Garland Nursery.
Since 1937, inspiring beautiful and bountiful gardens.
When you plant your flower baskets and containers this year, consider Black Gold All-Purpose Potting Mix for the best results. This worm castings enriched, well-drained potting soil has a controlled release fertilizer to feed your plants up to 6 months. Black Gold All-Purpose Potting Mix now contains resilience for enhanced plant growth. Available at garden centers everywhere. For more information, visit blackgold.bz. All the riches of the earth.
So I am out here at Schreiner's Iris Garden, but we're not with the irises right now. We're with the daylilies, and Ben Schreiner, that's who you are. This is kind of your girl that you're taking over, isn't it? The whole daylily part of this.
That's right. We got the daylilies 3 years ago from the hybridizer Bill Marriott in California. And so this is the 3rd year we're growing them.
And you know, I love daylilies to begin with, but this grouping that you guys are selling are breathtaking. The blend of colors, the thickness of them is so we wanted to cover about some things like how do you transplant them? Is there special needs they have compared to the other ones? So let's just jump right in with what about just moving them or planting them to begin with? How do we do that?
Sure. So I have one here for you we can work with. So daylilies can be transplanted anytime from April till September. So even though this one is showing buds and it's about to bloom, you can still dig and divide right now.
Really?
So yeah, and so you want to try to get as many fans as you can.
By fans, say what you mean by that.
So this is one fan.
Okay.
And each fan will have one scape.
Okay.
And the scape is the stalk that produces the bloom. So we ship all of our daylilies double fan, 2 fans. And you can either plant it straight in like this, or you can divide it. And you divide it, you just take the 2 fans and just pull it apart.
See, that's really simple.
Yeah.
That is really simple.
So now you have 2 plants.
And so then when you go to plant them, you know, we hear so much about the best way to plant anything that we're just planting, and it's all this extra, the steps to do it. So tell us what you would do with those now.
Right, so it's real easy. You just take it, I'll put it on the ground here. You want to trim the leaves, so you just take a shovel.
Oh my, yeah, that's simple.
If the roots are too long, you can always trim the roots.
Wow.
The roots will regenerate. And then I have a hole here, and you're just going to put it in the hole.
And how deep do you put it in then?
You only go a couple inches down, so you can kind of see where the green is on the foliage. You don't want to go any deeper than that. So just right about right there.
And then you did no fertilizing, no starter stuff. You just put it in good soil and put it in.
Yeah, put it in, and then water it in, and it's good to go.
And then What is there that are keys to making them bloom? Because they really do appear to be very easy.
Yeah, so just you want at least half day of full sun. You want to make sure you get at least an inch of water every week. And then you want to amend the soil with a fertilizer such as a 10-10-10 or compost like we have here, horse manure, anything like that.
And then the varieties that you guys have just keeps expanding. So all of these are sold in at your website, correct?
Yes, shrinersgardens.com. We have, I think, over 500 varieties available.
Wow. And I have to tell you, we got them about a year or so ago. Mine are just setting buds now, and the difference is the old daylilies are stunning, and they're hardy, and they're easy, but these new ones, there's just a beauty about them that is unique to that group of the family.
Yeah, the newer ones are a little fancier. They have more edging, more intricate colors and patterns.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, as I said, we at Garden Time all got these and we love them. They're just an exquisite blooming daylily. So if you're thinking, I really want to add those to my garden, all you have to do is go to gardentime.tv. We'll click you over to their website. You can find out when to buy them, which I think you said you're shipping right now, aren't you?
Correct, yeah.
Well, so there you have it. You can have it in the ground as soon as you get your new daylily. Thank you so much, Ben. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Warren.
Garden Time is brought to you by Portland Nursery, a passion for plants, a nursery for plant people.
Do you want to be green? Do the easy stuff first. Hi, I'm Sarah from Portland Nursery. The U.S. House Energy and Commerce Committee says for every dollar spent on a shade tree, you can save $5 on cooling, blocking the penetrating heat in the summer and allowing the warm rays through in the winter. Dollar for dollar, there's no better energy and money saver than a good, deciduous shade tree. Portland Nursery's professionals can help you make the perfect selection. Portland Nursery, a passion for plants, a nursery for plant people.
In the summer months, water use can double or triple due to outdoor watering. Here are 3 simple tips to help save water and money this summer. Set your sprinklers so that they're watering your lawn and plants and not the pavement. Water early in the morning or later in the evening when temperatures are cooler. Group plants with similar water, shade, and sun needs together. For more water conservation information and tips, check out the Regional Water Providers Consortium at www.conserveh2o.org.
A destination farm and garden market featuring the very best each season has to offer. Smith Berry Barn offers seasonal farm fresh fruits and vegetables and specialty herbs and perennials. Visit the historic barn for distinctive gifts, gourmet foods, and homemade milkshakes. Join us for our annual Berry Festival with fresh berries, live music, and lots of family-friendly fun. Centrally located off of Shoals Ferry Road between Sherwood and Hillsborough. Smith Berry Barn, growing good taste from the ground up.
At Sagao Nursery, we talk about going beyond the ordinary. Whether it's new and exciting varieties of plants and shrubs, to our wide selection of unique Japanese maples, or our great collection of tools, garden products, and Asian-themed gifts, we can help transform your garden into something extraordinary. Come in and let us make your garden a showcase. Sagao Nursery, growing beyond the ordinary.
Well, you know that saying, when something old is new again? Well, we have something for you, micro dahlias. I'm with Larry Smith from the Portland Dahlia Society, yes. And so you have like a new collection. What is it?
Oh, right. I've been growing them for a while, but with the American Dahlia Society has decided to really push the idea of growing these micro dahlias. They're much smaller. They're easy to grow. They bloom early. You get tons of blooms. They're great pollinators because they attract a lot of bees. Wonderful. And you can grow them in pots very easily. So if you have a small space, you can grow dahlias.
And so tell us how easy, because I think the big ones are pretty easy too, but tell us a little bit more to entice people in.
The beauty of these is you can, they bloom very early, and nice. You can put them in. They're almost kind of foolproof. You'll get the very, 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 very early blooms, and they continue to bloom through frost. Wow. And also, when you put them in a pot, you can take the whole thing inside and put it in an area where it won't freeze and bring it right back in the spring and probably have blooms by Memorial Day. I did with the one that I had potted.
Ah, yeah, because my regular dahlias, I don't even
Yeah.
see a bud on them, so that's really exciting. And so there's a couple different kinds. There's not all the different kinds like the big dahlias, but there's many different kinds. And so which ones do you grow?
I grow, we have the mignon singles, which are just kind of like a daisy.
Mhm.
I have orchids. I don't have any miniature collarettes yet, but those are the ones with the little collar.
Right.
There is one also called an orchid type, and there's more and more being developed every year. The American Dahlia Society has decided to really put some effort into getting people to know more about them, and we think that since we're including all the categories in our show this year, there will be more hybridizers that are probably going to develop more of them as time goes on.
Wow, and really you can even win a ribbon for your dahlias.
Yeah.
And so when is the big show that has all the different dahlias in it?
We have our show in Portland. It's at Oaks Park, and it will be the last weekend. I believe it's the 24th and 25th of August this year at the Dance Pavilion, and anybody can come. It's a free show.
Fun.
You don't. Anybody can come to our meetings. We're also, starting in August, we'll be meeting on the second Tuesday at Oaks Park, and you don't have to be a member to join. So it'll be 7 o'clock on the second
On that
Tuesday of the
Tuesday.
month. Yeah.
And that is a big ribbon
This
for
is
such a
huge,
small
yeah.
small plant, but congratulations,
Okay.
that's a wonderful thing.
Thank you.
And so there's a website?
Yes, it's www.portlanddahlia.com, and through that you can get all the information about the club, about different types of flowers. You can also have a way to contact some of us if you have questions.
Really, and they are the experts about dahlias. So if you have any questions, go to that website and go to Garden Time, and you can click over to that website because we all love dahlias in our gardens. They're so much fun and so beautiful. Well, thanks so much for all that
Well,
information.
thank you for coming out.
And your chance to is coming up later this week on the 4th at Smith Berry Barn for their Berry Festival.
So for more information on the Berry Festival or information on the show today or past shows, you can always go to gardentime.tv.
William and I thank you for watching, and we'll see you next week here on Garden Time.
I love the Jordan Kent Skill Camp. And as a busy mom, it is really nice to have time to get things done. Smile for our followers. You bet your butt next episode. Got a lot done today.
The proceeding was a paid program of the Guston Creative Group and its sponsors.